kindergarten! Today we are going to talk about time. We're going to learn the parts of a clock and how to read time to the hour. So let's first talk about where we see the time. Where do you see it at your house, or where have you seen it at school? Think about a place. Go ahead and shout it out. Maybe your microwave shows the time. Oh, the oven, your TV, mom's phone, right? Do you remember the clock that's usually above the classroom door? Yes. Now, oftentimes you probably see time on clocks that look like this. This is called digital time. But today, we're going to learn how to tell time on an analog clock. Now, this is a teaching clock. It's not a real clock. It can't actually tell time. I can move everything on my own, but a real clock would move and tell the time on its own and keeps the time. But we're going to learn how to tell time on an analog clock today, time to the hour. So let's first take a look at the parts of a clock. This whole part here is called the face of the clock. That sounds a little familiar, like our face, right? The clock also has two hands, and these are called the hands. There's an hour hand, and that's in red, and this is the word hour. There we go. Hour. And the long hand is called the minute hand, and there's the word minute. Some clocks you might see have this other skinny little hand, and it reads the seconds that go by very quickly. Maybe in class you've gotten a chance to talk about how long an hour takes or how short a second is. A second is a very quick amount of time, like 1, 2, 3. That was like about 3 seconds. An hour is a much longer amount of time. And an hour would be about how long you would take to watch a movie, or an hour and a half, longer than an hour. So a movie is a longer amount of time. When we talk about minutes, which the blue hand, the long hand, represents, is about how long it would take to brush your teeth. If you're brushing your teeth, it takes about 2 minutes. Or to put on your shoes might take about 1 minute. Unless you're learning how to tie your shoes. Then it might take a little longer. So let's take a look at the hour hand. It points to the big numbers that go around the clock. Now we're showing them in red to help us remember that the hour hand reads the bigger the numbers that go around the clock. And what number do we see? We start at 1. It goes around. We see 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now my minute hand's covering the 12 a little bit because it's long. But there's the 12 there. Some clocks might have little tiny numbers or dots going around. Now it's really hard to see. I'm going to try to bring it in as close as I can for you to see it. And you might see itty bitty numbers there. And that is to read the minutes that go by. So if when the minute hand moves, it's telling us the minutes. So we would read these numbers here. And each dot is one number. But they don't write all the numbers on there because it'd be a lot. It goes from 0 all the way around to 60. So we count by 5s to read time. We can count by 5s, 5, 10, 15, and it goes all the way around. Let me put that back so I don't lose my... So that's how the minute hand works. But today, we're going to just practice reading time to the hour. So let's first take a look. We always read the hour hand first. So if we look at the short hand, the hour hand, what number is it pointing to? 10. That's right. And where is the minute or long hand pointing to? It is pointing to a 12. But we don't say 10, 12, because that would actually be a different time. When the minute hand is right over the 12, it's o'clock. That's what we say. When it's right on that 12, we say o'clock. So the time is 10 o'clock. And if you were looking at your digital clock, it would look like this. 10 o'clock. That might look a little familiar to you. Now, as the minutes tick by, 60 minutes will go by in 1 hour. So I'm not going to wait here an hour to show you, but it'll go around the clock like this. The minute hand will slowly move, and the hour hand barely moves. As each minute ticks by, tick-tock, 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 goes around and around, okay? And slowly, see that hour hand's going to start to move to the next hour, to the next number. Slowly it's going to do that, okay? So as it comes back around, I'll show you the new time and see if you can help me read it. Now it's a new hour. What time is it now? So where's the red hand pointing? The hour hand's pointing to the 11, and that minute blue hand is right over the 12. So what time is it? 11 o'clock. Very good. And if we see the digital time, it looks like this. 11 o'clock. Great. Now if it goes around again, and another hour, 60 minutes later, oh, let's see if you can figure this one out. What time is it? Wait a minute, where'd that other hand go? He's there. You see him? He's behind the minute hand. So it's hard to read it sometimes, especially on some clocks. You might not. Well, you might wonder that the hour hand fell off, but it didn't. When you see this, both right over the 12, what time would we say? We would say 12. We still read the hour hand first. And the minute hand, when it's right over the 12, is o'clock. So it's 12 o'clock. Great job. Now I want to explain a little bit. This gets a little confusing. We have AM time and PM time. When it's 12 a.m., you're actually in bed sleeping. That's the middle of the night. It's called midnight. When it's 12 p.m., it means the start of the afternoon. And 12 p.m. is called noon. You may have heard that. And oftentimes that's when people eat lunch, at noon or around that time. So it gets a little confusing, but that's AM and PM. So we see these times two different times. One for the morning, or AM, and one for PM. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move this clock and you're going to tell me the time. We won't worry about AM or PM right now. We're just going to worry about reading the clock correctly. So I'm going to put on a time and see if you can read it. So you can shout it out to whoever's with you, maybe watching this video with you. What time is it? So read the red hand. Oops, sorry. Read the red. 2 o'clock. Right. The digital time. That's how it would look like. 2 o'clock. Nice work. So I'm going to move my hour hand to new hour. Keep my minute hand on the 12 because we're reading to the hour on the hour. Ooh, what time is it? Yeah, it's pointing right at the 6. So, yep, 6. Right over the 12. So it's 6 o'clock. Nice work. 6 o'clock. Let's do one more together for today. All right. Maybe that's... What time is it? Yes! 8 o'clock. Very good. And that's how we read time to the hour. So, remember, what is this hand called? The hour hand. Oh, sorry, the lighting. And what is the long hand called? The minute hand. And what is this whole front part of the clock called? Face. Yes. And the big numbers tell the hour. And those little numbers or dots that you see around the edge tell the minute. Nice work today, kindergarten. Maybe today you could try to read the time on an analog clock if you have one at home. Some of you might even have a play clock that you could change the time and practice reading time. Well, I hope you have fun reading time to the hour. See you next time, kindergarten. Bye-bye.